Okay, everybody, my name is David Howard. I'm the VP of Marketing at BuzzBoard. I have our subject matter expert, Philip Cortez, who's actually going to deliver the webinar today. Today, we're going to be focused, as we promised in the promotion, just 15 minutes a week using BuzzBoard. You can find high-quality prospects that are on target with your business. Philip will show you how. Questions are, of course, welcome. And as I say, we are recording, so it takes a little bit of post-production work, but we'll get you a link to the recording if you like. If through this demo or at the end, if you want a one-on-one demo, we're happy to arrange that. You can email me direct at david@buzzboard.com. You can do that, and we'll set something up. I know sometimes people want to ask questions, maybe they don't want to ask in an open forum. And then, as I mentioned, if you look in the chat, let's see if I can post it again for any latecomers. It's our simple survey to help guide us on future topics. We want to make sure that whatever we deliver is of interest and value to you. See folks coming in, about 6 minutes past. So with that, I'm going to turn it to Philip to talk about how you could use BuzzBoard, basically just 15 minutes a week to find prospects that are on target for your business that you are interested in talking to and selling to.
Awesome. Thanks, David. And everybody, thank you so much for just giving us some of your time. I know time is very valuable to everybody. And, it's true. It doesn't take too long. I think that we can all agree on the fact that when, in this environment, in the sales environment, especially when we're digital marketers ourselves and we're selling, when we're prospecting, our heads are always on a swivel. If you're in the sales profession, you're never going to really look at a website the same ever again. You're never going to really look at a business card the same ever again. I mean, it's really interesting to me how that just totally changed the second I entered the sales arena. Somebody would hand me a business card, and a thin, paper thin business card that was given to me once at a Chamber of Commerce event. It's funny because on the back of that card, it said, get your first 5,000 free cards at Vistaprint today, right? And it was interesting how I immediately thought, no money. This is not a good prospect for me, So we're always sizing up our prospects. And BuzzBoard's an awesome platform when it comes to that. And I think it doesn't get any easier than the Chrome extension. And we'll talk about identifying our good lead lists in a second here. I'm just going to go to a random website that I chose. It's an electrical contractor. I think they're in Ohio. And with our Chrome extension, because we're always sizing up these prospects, because on our way homes today, you're going to see grand opening signs or balloons or a brand new billboard or a vehicle wrap at the stoplight, and you're going to take out your phone and don't be like me and get a court order, some kind of a harassment. Because I'm taking a picture of that thing on my phone, and I guarantee some of you have done it before. But BuzzBoard does a really good job of bringing the prospects to us, because let's just say it was this electrical truck, right, or this electrical contractor, and it was this van that I saw pumping gas on my way home. Well, in my old life, that's exactly what I would do. I would take out my phone and I would snap a shot, or a pic, right, of the vehicle, because it had a phone number right over here, and I'd make that call. I'd want to prospect them, okay? And so where do we go? Well, we go to their website, we Google them, we want to get that research, and that's just kind of the nature of the beast. With our Chrome extension, in one click, we're able to just really quickly, like that, add in a business into the platform. And specifically, what we're all about here at BuzzBoard is we want to grade these businesses. We score them. We give them a digital health score, or a D score, right? And this one happens to be a 73. But as I look down, I have great data in front of me that I would not have had I just Googled them and went to their website and started to, well, kind of like when somebody gave me that business card, right? Paper thin, and now I'm making correlations. Maybe they don't have money. Well, I get to take a lot of that guesswork out when I'm using the Chrome extension. So, we talk about 15 minutes to build this list. This one took a second to get immediate insights into BuzzBoard, and I really do love that. And to get that 73 score, we're looking at the key segments of the digital marketing spectrum. And we're getting this information from a lot of different data sources via APIs. So we're getting it from the horse's mouth, not third-party scraping. As I scroll down, I'll get from a graphic information, trends to their website, contact information. That's a biggie right there. This is huge because, this is the moving target. This is a really hard insight to obtain. Contact information. I mean, there's not one single housing authority that will give you all personnel movement on all SMBs that we can just all plug into and readily obtain, right? And that's why with BuzzBoard, we get to request information if we need that, right? If I wanted marketing and sales here, then I'm going to go ahead and request that information. And BuzzBoard's going to get back to me within 24 working hours. And we're going to do our best to, in a both automated way and in some cases a manual way, to get that information. BuzzBoard's going to update that record for me. Everything from website and SEO, what are they doing on the digital advertising side? Are they running Google ads? If they are, here's an example. Are they running display? How about Facebook ads? How many of those? 7. So this is helping me out. It's giving me all the context that I need. And, with our AI content, our AI personalized driven content, generated through AI, every single one of these sections is going to have an AI component, an analysis to coincide with that. So we're giving you the what as far as information and data and signals, but we're also giving you the why when it comes to, okay, what can I lean on from an engagement standpoint? And some people who use our platform come down here and they start looking at interesting signals like YouTube. It's awesome to talk to businesses that believe in video. We want to talk to those businesses that absolutely understand how important it is to communicate to an external audience. And if I see a check mark here, well, I know BuzzBoard's going to let me click in and go right to their YouTube channel. Not a lot going on this channel, but that's okay. I could still talk to them and ask them, hey, what happened here? You were active at one point. What's going on? How can we help? Video is a great way to communicate, right? And I'd rather talk to the check marks than maybe the ones that might not have it. Okay, I might have to teach them a little bit more. So from A to Z, really, it's that digital marketing spectrum, the tech stack. What are they investing their technology in? Competition, HR, are they hiring? Reviews. This is an excellent way for me to get that information. In many cases, I'm getting a VBR. Okay, I mean, just looking at something like this allows me to get my foot in the door and start asking them really specific questions about, hey, how did you use this? Or what were your ideas here? And how come you haven't started? Or all of that. Okay, so from the Chrome extension, we call it BuzzBoard Connect, really, really easy to install. It will take us to the larger platform, which I've got teed up. And, when we want to identify our ideal prospects, BuzzBoard is pretty fantastic with that. I mean, I was running some searches in the Cleveland, Akron DMA, so we can do DMA searches. I can cast a really wide net and go to the United States. I'll leave this blank, although BuzzBoard does allow me to come in and add keywords or categories. We have multiple categories, it's loads of them here at BuzzBoard, but just is going to give you an example of how big this database really is. And I have access to 12.3 million businesses with websites over here. So all my filtering activity, when I want to start building my targeted list, all the activity, all the fun is really going to happen over here on this side. And to give you a better understanding of how big the database is, and we update this database every 30 days. We've got access as of right now to 23.9 million businesses in our database. And when I say we update the database every 30 days, well, let's just go back to this electrician over here. They were at a 73. And in order for me to get that 73, we needed to tap into those data sources to obtain that overall digital health score, okay? And so that's what we're doing for 23.9 million businesses every 30 days. It's a Herculean effort. It's a huge database. Is it the whole of the SMBs of the United States? No, there's new businesses that are coming around all the time, but this is our sweet spot. It's our bread and butter. It's what we want to really focus on here at BuzzBoard, is small to medium-sized businesses that are hopefully spending money that we can work with and build those targeted lists. But without that updating, without that enrichment, I can't come in here and say, okay, of the 23.9, I want the ones with websites first, okay, to give me the 12.3 million businesses. Can't do that with Google. That's a huge database. Google is a huge, huge platform, but they can't update every record. First of all, you'd have to get rid of all the images and the videos and all that stuff, right? There's just so much there. That's why when we're using BuzzBoard, it's SMBs and SMBs only. We'll see some enterprises in there too. But with that enrichment, we can come in and start looking at our businesses that we want to talk to. I love the ones in BuzzBoard by default, as you noticed before, gave us the 12.3 million businesses first, because really we can build bigger proposals with them. If we're in the digital marketing game and we've got a lot of solutions to sell, we're a little bit boxed in with these guys over here. I'll toggle to the left and come up with roughly half. It's like 11.6 million businesses without a website, but their quote unquote digital effort could be social only, could be just a Facebook page. This could be traditional media, kind of a conversation that I'm going to have with them, right? So in one fell swoop, we're able to get what we need. I'm going to go ahead and kick it back over to the ones with websites. But because all my filtering criteria happens here, this is me casting the widest net, right, in the United States, but I could easily come in and get extremely granular, right? This is 79936 in El Paso, Texas. That's where I am. And I've got access to the 2,200, about 2,300 businesses with websites from my kitchen table. So this is where the fun starts to begin for us. And we want to now start filtering our search accordingly. And the interesting thing here is that when we're building this list, well, you know, we've got a variety of ways that we can start filtering our searches because of that enrichment that we maintain every 30 days. So a big recommendation is that, hey, listen, if we want a VBR, awesome. We can start filtering for that. We can start looking through technologies, and we can start looking at businesses that are running, let's just say, running on ad servers, or who's got a CRM, or who's on a DSP, who's on a demand side platform, who's running programmatic display, right? And just to give you an idea, if I toggle over here, keeping our eyes over here on the left, these are some of those businesses that we're tapping into. We're identifying these technologies, these providers, these DSPs. So businesses that might be running on Simplify, we can find those. In my immediate vicinity, there's 21 of them. So if I wanted to start having that kind of a discussion, I can absolutely filter for that if I wanted to. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways to filter our search. Today on this call, I'm going to give you just a basic example of a typical search that you might want to make. And in order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and go into, let's just stay in El Paso. Let's go to the El Paso DMA. That's going to give me southern New Mexico, Las Cruces as well. So I'll have ample opportunity with my 21,000 businesses. But just know that anywhere in the continental United States, whether it's a DMA, a county, a state, the whole of the United States, you can absolutely filter your search that way. The only thing we can't do, and we do get this question from time to time, is can we do multiple states at one time? And we cannot do that. Okay, not at this time. So we've got our 2150, and truth is that, you know, if I want to look for something that's easy for me, easy to engage, and so I work with a lot of teams from both the United States and the UK and beyond. And, you know, one of the big challenges is, okay, how do I talk to the data, right? And so when we're identifying our targeted list with BuzzBoard, the cool thing is that we can absolutely start filtering for that engagement if we wanted to. We're really big on that here. And if I wanted to come in and say, all right, of the 21,000 plus businesses in the DMA, interesting to see who has not done that, who has not listed themselves on Google or claimed they're Google My Business, right? And there's over 5,000 businesses in this DMA that have not done that. So that's pretty interesting, because if I wanted to start building my list with BuzzBoard and I wanted to start with my engagement, how am I going to speak to this? I think all of us on the call can. offer really, really good reasons as to why this should probably be one of the first activities you're gonna execute, right? If you're a small business owner and you've got a website, because essentially these 5,000 are kind of invisible, right? And I think when we start really talking about it, maybe we're whiteboarding it together, I think we're going to come down to the fact that if I can't find you, I can't click. And if I can't click, I can't buy. Okay. I think that's how it's going to shake down when we get down to the bottom of it. But because we're talking their language, it's, hey, listen, you know what? If I'm making that phone call and I found this as my VBR, maybe I'm saying something along the lines of, hey, you know what, David, I found an execution problem, right? I found a way where you might be losing market share, and that loss of market share is leading to a loss of revenue. Okay. So we want to make sure that when we're filtering our searches, we filter for our engagement as well. BuzzBoard's doing a good job of helping us with that. And we can also add more layers to it. So if I wanted to take that 5 and say, okay, of you guys, who's still doing this stuff though? Who's still spending money to drive traffic to these websites that essentially don't exist with Google? And this one's an easy one, because if you're spending money with Google, and there's 877 of them in this DMA, well, now it's, if I can't find you, I can't click. If I can't click, I can't buy. So that's obviously loss of market share leading to loss of revenue if we're talking their language. But we have to be in compliance with Google's policies if we're going to be successful using them as a lead generating mechanism, right? If we're going to work with Google, we should probably be in alignment with their policies. This is number one with the bullet, in my opinion. So these could be the dogs chasing their tails, because if I type in a spend now with BuzzBoard, and this is coming from SpyFu and SEMrush, this is our data source for this. If I say, let's just say 1,000, I'll keep it easy, but I'll open it up. I'll open it up to 150,000 over here. Well, there's 398. So there's almost 400 businesses in this DMA where I'm sitting right now that monthly are spending a good chunk of change. And that's just in Google Ads. So now I'm looking at a potential waste of spend. Your marketing dollars might not be going as far as you think they are. So as you can see, as we filter, we want to make sure that we're filtering for engagement and we're moving forward. This is absolutely going to expedite our process in a huge way. It doesn't mean we still can't go here to a website. It still doesn't mean that when you're driving home and you look at a brand new vehicle wrap right over here, you can't still get that information that BuzzBoard's going to provide you, because I think that's extremely valuable. And it's not going to change the fact that our heads are always going to be on a swivel when we're prospecting, as I alluded to earlier. But it really, really does help matters from an everything standpoint, whether it's meeting my KPIs or just sales overall, to fill that pipeline and come up with these businesses, these 398, that offer something really interesting for me to say. But guess what? I'm scaling that engagement. So I get to kind of rinse and repeat that, put it in my back pocket, and move forward as I continue my sales process. You saw that I clicked on YouTube a little earlier because I love having a YouTube conversation. I like those businesses that believe in video. And because with that video, I can start introducing a lot of different solutions, everything from production all the way to OTT and everything in between. A lot of the solutions that we currently sell have video in mind, right? We can maximize somebody's efforts, not just on YouTube either. We can put stuff on networks. So that's why I always go in and I want to make that part of my filtered criteria. I want those businesses, and I've got 280 of them in my DMA that believe in video. And really, these are the businesses. If you're producing your own content, then you understand how important it is to communicate to that external audience. And more importantly, I like the fact that, hey, they're content creators. And I know it's hard. And we see this all the time. I mean, they're not always successful, okay, in running a YouTube channel. Some of these businesses might be just taking their broadcast, their commercial efforts, and using YouTube as a repository. But hey, where do we go to learn? I mean, I have to install something for my wife, right? A sink, or it's not a sink, but it's actually and then one of those, you know, garbage things, whatever. I'm forgetting the name, but yeah, hey, listen, I gotta go to YouTube and learn how to do it. And if you're like me, I might just give up halfway and just hire the guy that made the video. All right, but that's where a lot of businesses want to be experts in their space. So when I start lining up my engagement over here with BuzzBoard, now I'm able to come in, now that I know what I want to say, now it's who do I want to talk to? And BuzzBoard does a really, really good job. I mean, we've got a lot of categories that you can choose from. I don't suggest that you just go and start cherry picking, okay? Because use our search bar because there's a lot of them. So I'm going to say contractors. Maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe I can spell right. But as I start typing, it's going to start auto-populating for me. And I've got contractors of all kinds. So with BuzzBoard, I can look at all of them by default. I can look at B2B types of businesses, B2Cs. All right. So I'm going to get everybody. Primaries in pink, sub-primary or secondary categories in blue from A to Z. I want them all. And let's see what that looks like. So I've got my 11 prospects. Not too bad. Okay, 11 prospects that I can now work with. And when I hit find down here, down below, well, this is me going into that big database. Remember, 23.9 million of them. I haven't added anything into the platform yet. I've just taken 11 from the millions. They're on the center shelf right in front of me now. Okay. And really, to add them, if it's 1 hour heating and air, and I like HVAC, I mean, this is one of my favorite categories, then it's just a simple click, add. That's it. Too easy, right? Hit done. And now in real time, takes about 45 to 90 seconds. We're going to go through those APIs. I'll stay here for a second. And we're going to run those numbers too. We're going to get the real-time information. It's like me taking something from the top shelf, dusting it off to get today's latest and greatest information on that business so that I can go and I can engage with them. And the good thing about filtering for that engagement is because I can do that with all 11 of them. I already have the characteristics that I wanted or the attributes for these businesses that I was looking for so that I can go expedite my sales process and move forward with it. Okay. So there's that way of adding the businesses into the platform. Of course, our BuzzBoard Connect, our Chrome extension, that's always a good way of doing it. We can select multiples if we wanted to, so we can add in bulk from our list if we needed to. From here, I can take now the 10, there was 11, I just added one in, but now I can filter this list and I can say, all right, give it to me by business age, estimated spend, estimated buzz score. We explain that buzz score and how we get that, right? So if I go estimated spend with the 10, high to low, then Echo Max AC, they're probably spending the most. This is an estimate, right, for the category. If I wanted the low-hanging fruit, maybe the ones that aren't spending that much money. Okay, all right, we could flip that around too. There's only 10 of them, so it's not going to change too much, but here we have them. Okay, and that went by contacts available. So bad click on my part. And there we go. All right. So find turns into save. So as a practice, what I want to do when I'm identifying in this first stage, top of the funnel, using BuzzBoard as a prospecting tool is I want to save it. Once I click on find and develop my list, I can add from there. BuzzBoard's always going to remember the last place you were at, but I want to make it, a best practice for me to just start saving, right? And I think I have multiple fill-up samples there. So let's just try something different. I'm going to name it. BuzzBoard's going to date it for you. You can give it a description. I can say YouTube with SEM/Facebook contract. Just something that'll give me, and I still can't spell that, right? Fat fingers, hit continue. And I've saved my list. Okay, well, that search already exists. So I already saved that one. I can't believe that. I have 53 of them, but our saved searches are going to be housed here in this filtering or this prospect area. And of course, I'll be able to access that from my home screen over here when I start looking at my saved searches. Okay, right down below. So we have a wonderful way, I believe, of identifying the right prospects for us as we go in, start filtering our search. It's really all about you. What do you want to say? Who do you want to find? And chances are extremely high we're going to be able to do that. I think the last thing I'll leave you with here as we explore this first major area or feature that BuzzBoard provides is that there's not one right way of filtering your search. Ultimately, it's going to be your way. We all have a sweet spot. We all know what kind of conversations we want to have and with who we want to have them with. And BuzzBoard's going to allow you to do that. So with that said, David, do we have any questions? Do we have any questions in the chat?
No, but I invite people to throw a question in the chat. Just on the bottom, using Zoom on the bottom, little bullets there, the balloon rather with chat. You're welcome to throw a question there in the chat. Yeah, we kept it to 30 minutes. We want to be super respectful of everybody's time. Yes, Janice, you're happy to send your recording. We'll record everything. If there are any latecomers, let me post the link to the survey again if you haven't responded, and if you don't mind to take a minute. It's one question, and it just helps guide us onto content that we will offer in the future on these sorts of webinars. We want to make sure that we're delivering content and topics that resonate with the pain points that you feel in your day-to-day. So I've posted that link to the chat. One question, and you just have to pick from among 3 different answers.
Yeah, and I do recommend that if you thought that this was valuable for you, if this is something that you want to try out for yourself, I mean, David, we offer a free trial here.
Yeah, so if you are compelled to get your hands on this product directly yourself, you go to the website, www.buzzboard.ai. In the top right corner, there's a free trial button. We do not ask for a credit card in advance, unlike a lot of platforms. 14 days to get your hands on. And if you do that, and if you register, we'll get you plugged into Philip's organization, customer success team, who will be happy to, once you're in the product, to step you through how to, how to start navigating, how to look at prospects, and then how to start engaging using the AI component. We're doing these webinars on a every 2 weeks basis right now. So the next one will be the 27th. And we're looking at moving on to kind of the next the next topic of, how would you use BuzzBoard to effectively engage with prospects once you have them? So it's kind of like a step-by-step. In this webinar, we're talking about how do you filter and source and find prospects you want to talk to? And then the next webinar will be focused on once you have them, or perhaps you already have prospects that you already know about, how do you effectively engage with them using a platform like BuzzBoard? And then that would get you into the generative AI component of the product.
Absolutely. Yeah, because as Brady, but as we all know, a list is a list is a list. It's, almost meaningless if we can't get appointments, right? And so kind of a tease there. BuzzBoard is phenomenal in helping us open a lot more doors because of how we filtered and the features that we provide. So the 27th is when we'll be talking about that at length.
Yeah. So Phil, I don't see any questions from the audience, so maybe we call that a wrap for today. Keep it to about 30 minutes. Let everybody have the rest, the top half of the hour back to their day. And once again, we'll do the next one on the 27th at 10 a.m. Pacific time again. So thank you everybody for joining. Again, my email, david@buzzboard.com, if you want to set up any kind of one-to-one. And then of course the website, buzzboard.ai, if you want to start your own trial, get hands-on with the product.
Great. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.